Hello, trade pros. Have you ever been in a trade and you're confident in your long position, and suddenly Larry Kudlow or Steve Mnuchin or Donald Trump tweets and it unravels your whole thinking and hits your stop loss? Well, you could actually use these bursts of news called a tape bomb to your advantage. And in today's video, we're going to focus on reviewing one such live trading news service called Trade the News. This is a platform of real-time news that's read out loud to you, and I want to show you the impact it just had on Facebook. So let's turn around. I'm going to go over to the monitor and share this review with you, hoping that it could help your trading. Thank you guys, and let's get started.
All right, so I'm going to walk you through a complete review of the Trade the News platform. I'm going to leave the squawk in the background, and hopefully we'll be able to catch some real-time news that comes in and how it impacts the market. However, I want to start out by bringing the platform window. So this is an online-based application, Trade the News, so it is web-based. You don't have to download any software or bloatware to your computer, and you can access it from anywhere in the world, which makes it that much more powerful. What you're seeing here is the headlines for today, which happens to be March 3rd, 2019. And at 1:20 p.m., this was read out loud, and it was pertaining to Facebook. So if you click, first of all, the ones that are highlighted in yellow are actually the squawks that are market impacting and highly important. And as you could see here, this was a headline at 1:20 p.m. Data from millions of Facebook users was reportedly stored publicly on Amazon Web Services cloud servers, which is a major concern, as we know that Facebook has been in the media for the wrong reasons in terms of privacy. So at 1:20, that tweet came out, and rather not the tweet, but the Trade the News squawk. And when we look here, there's additional details. It says Facebook and Amazon work to remove public user data. Cyber risk specialist UpGuard says it found the user data on AWS public servers and notified AWS and Facebook about this issue promptly. So that came out at 1:20. But I guess the real question here is, did that impact the market? And if so, what impact did it have? So we could see here, I'm going to open up the latest chart of Facebook. So this is an intraday chart using TradingView. I use TradingView to chart all of my stocks and then Sierra charts for my futures. But let's see where 1:20 p.m. here is on the 5-minute chart. In fact, let's drill down further on a 1 minute and see if that gave us, here's a squawk. And so that's a real-time news squawk that was pertaining to Brexit. So this squawk service is really helpful for Forex traders, option stocks, and futures traders as this economic data impacts the service. All right, so here's Apple. At 1:20 p.m., you could see that we had the squawk, and at 1:19 the stock dropped a little bit. So you know at least why it dropped, and you're now able to qualify these moments for short opportunities and pick up the rotations to get back in on the trend. When you have a news event that moves the market, there's typically a first initial impulse move, a rollback or a pullback, and then a continuation. So now the question is, will we get to see the break of these lows on the market, on Facebook specifically? All right, so that's one example from today. There are many examples. The one where Hillary Clinton's information was released by James Comey when he announced that he was going to write to Congress to suggest that there were some privacy issues there. That was a great opportunity. I remember that it was a Friday. I was literally shutting down the computer for the day to head out and enjoy the weather, and that squawk came in. I sat down and shorted the S&P 500 and made my Trade the News subscription from then until now, and that was years ago. It was a great trade. All right, let me show you another market that impacted. So what you're seeing here is the S&P 500 futures on our favorite footprint charts, and this is how we track along with the market on an order flow basis. You could see around 119.50, so you had a little bit more time here. The squawk came out at 120. It was trading at 28.84 half on the SPOOs, and now it's trading down to 28.75 half. And so you can see these squawks actually keep you up to date with the markets. They give you market statistics, market breadth, key events, economic news. It's great for non-farm payrolls and many other things. All right, so I'll continue to leave the squawk in the background so you guys could experience it during the length of this YouTube video. And back to the S&P 500 market, you could see here that we had about a 10-point opportunity after the news came out. So it's not like the news came out way after the move. The news actually came out before the move and pushed equity markets lower because of the risk on scenario. So that's an example of how you could use Trade the News for real-time trades. And now I'm going to take you through and review the platform step by step. So here's the Trade the News platform once again. There are a number of tabs at the top. The first one is headlines. The latest one at 2 p.m. was the market internals update. And you can see New York Stock Exchange volumes at 374 million shares, but it is 7% below its 3-month average. So this is key information if you're looking for breadth and starting to prepare to trade into the last few hours of the session. Now that we look at the headlines tab, this is where you'll see your news. And if you click on it, you could see additional details and more information. The next part I want to show you is the calendar tab, because the calendar tab allows you to see what's coming up for the current day and the current week, which includes much more than economic data. So today is Wednesday. You could see at 10:30 we had the crude oil inventory report, which we traded live in our room. You could see which stocks are trading ex-dividend, and there's some action around those symbols. Speakers for the day, conferences, and any analyst and investor frameworks, annual meetings, before market open earnings and after market close. It's a very detailed report of potential market driving events. Under Event Watch, we'll just let this tab load. You could see that this is a report that comes out every morning. This came out at 7:05 this morning and it was emailed to everybody. And you could see it's a really big walkthrough of the day, including on the focus of the day, indices releases, and what's expected, Washington events, and then company events as well. If you scroll down, you can see broker events, conferences. There's a lot of detail to help you get prepared for the day. My favorite is the Thursdays or the daily key events section and around the world. And then that gives you an outline of what you can expect to see throughout the day. Ask the Desk is a very neat feature that you have to apply for access, and you could go in here and get an analyst to help you out. So let's assume this news report came out and I want to know when was the last time that Facebook was impacted by the privacy concerns. I could actually type that in and click send, and one of the Trade the News analysts will reply to me and could even help you do light research. Obviously, when the markets are busy and there's a lot of news events, the responses are a little bit slower, but that's to be expected. However, knowing you have your analyst, your personalized, almost an analyst for yourself to help you out is a really confidence-inspiring feature. Top stories is where you could get a read of the top stories for the day. They also email you, Trade the News, throughout the day session to provide you morning, midday, evening updates. You could also get an update throughout the Asian session and the European session. So this news service is 24 hours around the clock. So if you're in Europe trading currencies or in the United States trading futures, you're going to get the most relevant events in your session. It starts at 6 p.m. on Sunday when the Globex markets open, and coverage goes all the way until Friday at 5 p.m. when the markets close. It actually goes until 6 p.m. rather. 5 p.m. is Central, Chicago time, 6 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes they cut off around 5:30, but Fridays get slow in the afternoon. Anyways, so here's your morning report. You could see what happened, quick little glance at different equities. And as you scroll down, you could see debt and equity offerings, additional notes, and you pretty much know everything that's happened overnight as you start the session. This helps you and allows you to identify the market sentiment and get on board with that market move. All right, that's what you have overall as Trade the News. This is the platform in its entirety. One of my favorite features here is if you click headlines at the very top, and you go down to this second part, the middle or the bottom part of the screen, and you click show market data, you could actually see what news drove the market. And if you click on that point, it will show you the news events around the actual S&P 500, and this could occur at a different time. So if you ever look at a trend and say, well, what was a contributing factor to the move in the market? You could come back and analyze that here on Trade the News. You could click Americas, Europe, Asia, and fixed income, commodities, and currencies. On their Americas, this is the S&P 500 market. So you could select NASDAQ, VIX, US 10-year oil market, and what impacts led to it. You could see March ISM non-manufacturing this morning missed, and it caused a downside in the S&P 500 initially. Here's the Facebook event at 2883, and now here's a push down to clear out the day session lows. Very neat chart, and one of my favorite features here of Trade the News, other than the real-time squawks that you get throughout the day. Now, in addition to the actual platform, you have access to a very neat email service as well. You could opt in to receive emails, and this is how you do that. You go into Profile, and then you could select what you want to receive email notifications about. So I like to get the USA market updates stories, Asian market, European market. the monthly market update, which is a really neat recap of what the market did and what we expect for the next month, a weekly update, daily online and paper summaries. This is called In the Regs. So if you don't want to read Wall Street Journal, Financial Times, and all the big publications globally, you could get a summary of the biggest articles printed in there, courtesy of Trade the News, and then Event Watch. So I've subscribed to all of them, and they're great emails. Now let me show you just an example of one before we wrap it up. And I'm going to open up my account here. And here is an example. This came out at 10:55 in the morning. This is the market trading hours summary. And you could see the overnight sentiment, what took place in the US session and key drivers. The bolded ones are the most important, or the market moving events, what happened in Europe, corporate headlines, treasuries, and commodities as well. So that's a quick recap of Trade the News. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's an amazing service. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the opportunity for you when you use this service.
All right, trade pros, I hope you enjoyed this video and you now know how to use a professional news service to your advantage. Trade the News offers our Trade Pro active subscribers an exclusive monthly savings, and you pay much lower than the retail rate. In order to be part of that Trade the News group plan, you have to be an active member of one of our packages, either the Swing Trader, Pro Trader, or Elite Trader. And this news service will enhance the value of your membership fivefold. When you pair our technical analysis and order flow mechanisms and our approach to trading with Trade the News, you start to identify a lot of high probability, low risk opportunities. Many of our members in our community have paid off their Trade the News subscription and Trade Pro fees for the entire year in just one day with one trade. I look forward to seeing you on your journey to success. If you like this video, please hit the like button and please click here to subscribe. And do hit the notifications bell so you know when we have new videos coming out. To get your 6-lesson free mini course, click here. Thanks for watching and have yourself a fantastic day. Manage your risk and trade like a trade pro. Goodbye.